welcome to the video lectures on compiler design. So in the previous lecture we have seen backtracking. Now we'll see predictive parser. So one of the top down parser. So we'll see how to do this one. So predictive parsing. So or you can use with LL-1 grammar. And what are the prerequisites when you want to learn this one? So you have to know what is left recursion. Anyway, and you have to know left factoring. So when you want to do this predictive parsing, you must remove the left recursion and left factoring in the grammar. Then only you have to proceed. So you have to see these things, and you have to know what is first and follow functions. How to write first and follow for a terminal or non-terminal. So that we have to see now. So what is this elimination of left recursion? First of all, we'll see what is this left recursion. So let us suppose I'll take a grammar. A tends to A alpha slash beta. So what is this one means? A is a non-terminal followed by some set of, might be a one terminal or set of terminals or non-terminals. B is another one. So like this it is a production. Now I call it is in the left recursion. Why it is in left recursion? So let us suppose if I want to derive this one, I'll write A tends to A alpha. Now what is this A? Again A tends to A alpha. What is this A? Again A tends to A alpha. So this process will be continued until if I substitute what is A means beta. Let us suppose beta is a some terminal. So like this. So that means every time the extreme left one is deriving. So when you are getting the result of extreme leftmost one in the last level only. So before that level you are not getting the input term, and even you are not getting the what is extreme left one. So now I'll say this is a disadvantage. Why this is a disadvantage? That means let us suppose I want to derive this one. Let us suppose I want to derive the grammar. I want to derive an input string like something like x alpha 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 alpha. So now where x is also in terminal symbol. So I want to derive this one. How to derive? So I'll derive like A tends to A alpha first. So I have to check it out. What is the first symbol? A. Here it is. Is it terminal? No. Again I'll derive. Now is it a terminal again? No. So I have to derive it like this until I'll get the it is a terminal. So let us suppose you may think of I want to substitute again. Let us suppose if I write like this, I need to derive. So when I will know, let us suppose now if I substitute what is A means beta. So if I substitute beta here, now I can say that okay, beta is not matching. So that means when can I know this one means unless if I substitute this what is A, I'm not getting. By remaining terms you are getting, remaining everything you are getting. But if I know this one here itself, in the first step itself, if I know this one, yes, it is beta, it's not x, then I can stop here only, no? So I may not try sometimes. So like this, sometimes let us suppose if I write beta alpha alpha. So A tends to, I will substitute A alpha. Next what is this one means A alpha alpha. Next A alpha alpha alpha. Now what is this? A means beta. So now yes, I can say it is accepted. So like this I can see. But here unless I'll go till the last, I'm not getting exactly what is. So this is, we call it as left recursion. So how to avoid this one means you have to eliminate the left recursion here. Why? Because whatever we are learning the parsing, which is a recursive procedure, extreme left symbol only it is taking first. So that's why when you have the grammar like this, this grammar, let us suppose this is G, will be converted to like this. So now I'll rewrite this grammar as A tends to beta A dash. What is A dash is alpha A dash slash epsilon. Now I can say that G and G dash both are same. How can I say that both are same? Whatever the strings accepted by G should be accepted by G dash. Whatever the strings are not accepted or rejected by G should be rejected by G dash. So let us see some examples in this. What are the strings accepted by this grammar? I'll write here. So all the strings. So let us suppose A tends to, I'll keep beta first. So beta will be accepted. Next, in place of A beta, I'll keep beta alpha will be taken. Next, beta alpha alpha. Next, beta alpha alpha alpha. Like this. Beta followed by a number of alpha symbols will be accepted by G. Is it same with G dash? We'll see. So A tends to, so will it satisfy B beta? You can see I'll take beta A dash. What is A dash means? I'll write A dash means instead of this I'll write epsilon. So which is beta. Yes, the first one is over. That means G dash consists beta. Now beta alpha we'll see. So A tends to beta A dash. What is A dash means? What is A dash means? I'll write this one. Alpha A dash. What is alpha A dash means? Epsilon I'll keep. So beta alpha. So similar to that, next I'll write, next time I'll take one more alpha A dash. So I'll get beta alpha alpha. So beta alpha alpha. Next I'll take beta alpha alpha. So like this I'll get the answers. You can see now the same input productions we are getting. That means whatever this grammar is taking, same G dash is taking, whatever it is rejecting, here also it is rejecting. So that's why whatever A tends to A alpha slash beta, I will rewrite it as like this. Now you can see, is there any left recursion here? No. You can see A tends to that left extreme leftmost symbol. If it is same, we call it as left recursion now. But is there here? No. You can see how it can be derived. Let us suppose if I give beta alpha alpha, A tends to, first I'll take, what is that? Beta A dash. So that means extreme leftmost symbol is over. Now A dash I'll take. Now let us suppose if I want to derive X, this one, what is X? What is the first symbol here? Beta. What is this symbol here? X. So that's why you can directly say yes, this string is not accepted here itself. So this is what the advantage when you go for elimination of left recursion. So like this you have to do. This is a concept of left recursion. That means A tends to A alpha slash beta can be written as A tends to beta. That means the second production you have to write here followed by a new symbol A dash. That is a non-terminal. What is A dash means? Alpha, then A dash unit. Alpha means the next production, the next symbols or symbol followed by this A in this. Total alpha followed by A dash. This non-terminal slash, again you need to write epsilon. So this is a procedure that you need to follow. This is about left recursion. So what about left factoring? What is this left factoring? So let us suppose I have like this. A tends to alpha beta 1, alpha beta 2, alpha beta 3, alpha beta 4, like this. Let us suppose alpha beta 10. So alpha is a something collection of terminals and non-terminals, and followed by beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, and every production you have alpha same like this. Now this is called as left factoring. So what is the disadvantage here? Let us suppose I want to derive alpha beta 4. How to derive? In general, A tends to, first I'll write alpha beta 1. Is it correct? No. I'll substitute alpha, then alpha is same, then beta 1 else. It's not correct, then I'll take second input. A tends to alpha beta 2. It's not correct. Next I'll take A tends to alpha beta 3. See, every time I need to again take it as alpha as well as beta 1. That means every time, let us suppose 2 units here time is required, here 2 units, here 2 units, like this. To get 4 I'll require totally 8 units of time required. Or this alpha beta 10 I'll require 2 into 10, 20 units of time is required. Is that right? Now instead of that I'll write like this. A tends to this one, I'll write A tends to alpha A dash. What is A dash is beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, like this up to beta 10. So this is, I'll rewrite. Now we'll see if I want to get alpha beta 10, what I have to do. A tends to alpha A dash, I'll write. Now what is A dash? Only I have to take, this is fixed, this is I'm not changing. alpha, that means here you can see each is a different production. No, it's similar to like this, A tends to alpha beta 1, A tends to alpha beta 2. So if alpha beta 1 is not satisfied, alpha beta 2 have to try. But here A tends to alpha, A dash is common. What is A dash? I'll take B1, beta 1. It's not true, I'll take beta 2. It's not true, I'll take beta 3. Now we can see if I take 10, alpha beta 10, what is the complexity here we are getting? Initially, let us suppose for these two, 2 is the complexity. Next, each time 1. So that means 1 into next 9 times. So, or else 10 times. So 2 plus 10, totally 12 is the complexity. Now if you go with this process, it is 20. Here it is 12. I am reducing this one. This is also we call it as left factoring. So like this you can write A tends to alpha beta 1 like this every time. The left side everything is same. I can make it as A tends to alpha, a new non-terminal, and the remaining things I need to write separate. So like this you can reduce it and you can get the answer like this. So this is we call it as left factoring.